Good evening.
Hello. Who are we speaking with today?
We are the angels of love.
I'm glad to hear that. We've missed you.
We've missed you. It's been a very long time.
So I'm sure you already know that Eileen has been doing a series on the many faces of love.
We are. We are extremely happy and very excited that she's decided to take this venture into a little bit of a different area than she had hoped.
Is there anything that you would like to say to the collective in regards to the many faces of love?
Humanity still has a lot of growing to do. The way that we see things and the way where we see your growth and your progression, you are still but a fetus. You are still young and have a lot more to learn when it comes to the many aspects of love. In this physical reality, it is extremely difficult to truly understand the dynamic of pure divine love. One of the many reasons why we sort of coaxed Eileen into doing this series is because she has many years of experience when it comes to relationships. This is not to say that she is an expert in love, but she has many different dynamics of understanding how love and relationships work hand in hand. In viewing humanity and in sort of taking inventory of where humanity is when it comes to love in general, you all have a very limited idea, belief, and perception of what true love is. Now, many people in humanity or in the collective truly believe that true love does not exist. But what you all fail to realize is that love has always existed. It has always been a part of your makeup. It has always been a part of your DNA. You were made in the image of love. You were made with love. But when you come down into this reality, a reality that is so limited and that is very restrictive, you cannot fully grasp the concept of that pure infinite love. In this reality, you experience many facets of love through experienced relationships, through the dynamics of relationships. And as you go through these experiences, you learn the many levels of how love can be perceived. You must understand that love is neither good nor bad. Remember, everything is energy. And how you interpret, perceive, or understand that energy is how you grow. See, you cannot fully fathom the idea or the concept of unconditional love without truly understanding the idea or the concept of conditional love. In this reality and in this world, you live a life of love based on conditions. It is the only way that you know how to understand it. You only see through a mere vessel that cannot even fathom the vastness of pure infinite love and light that is garnered towards you. The many things that Eileen shares on her series, The Many Faces of Love, understand that it shares not only her knowledge, but the esoteric wisdom that we share with her as we channel through her. We provide her with information, the wisdom, and the knowledge to share with the world, to help you understand that you only experience only a fraction of that pure infinite love that is available to you. It is accessible to you. You merely need to look for it. You merely need to search for it. Because you are made in the image of love, and because you are made of love and with love, all the love that you will ever need is within you. It is within your grasp. It is within your reach. But the way that you perceive love and the way that you perceive relationships, you perceive it through the eyes of other people. You want to experience it outside of you, not truly understanding or recognizing that all the love you have ever needed has always been within your reach. You merely needed to search for it, to look for it. Because you live a life based on conditions, and because you can only grasp what you understand and what you know, you must go through the many phases in order to truly understand its opposite. Conditional love is all this reality truly knows. I want you all to understand that truly being loving in an unconditional sense is very hard for you to grasp. No matter how much work you do, no matter how much you center yourself, you still will fall short of truly grasping unconditional love. We know that it can be difficult for you to understand the concept of unconditional love, or that you are loved and that you are provided for, or that you are made in the image of love and created with love, through love. We know that it's hard for you to grasp that concept because as you look out into the world today, all you see is hate, discrimination. You see its opposite. But that which you witness, that which you experience today, is helping you understand. It's helping you see through the eyes of love. It's helping you understand the dynamic of pure divine love. Understand that not everyone will want to understand true divine love, and that's okay. It's not meant for everyone, but understand that everyone has their own path in life. Everyone has their own journey that they must go through in order to understand their lessons and go through their lessons through their own version of love. We are very happy that she's decided to take this venture and to share the knowledge and the wisdom that she has gained through the years in the many different types of relationships she's experienced love. And we are very excited that she is going to be sharing a very big lesson for this world and for many people who hear this lesson as they grow exponentially towards their divine purpose and their spiritual growth and enlightenment.
Why do people have a hard time with unconditional love?
Because you live in a world, you live in a place where you only see a fraction of what is before you. Understand that when you come here, you lose all concept. You lose everything that you have ever known, that you have ever learned from the many lifetimes before, and the many other places that you've come from. In this particular world and in this particular reality, it is one of the harshest because there is not enough knowledge or understanding of who you truly are. You see, in other worlds and in other realities, those species truly understand the dynamic of who they are. They are connected. They never lose sight of that. But in this physical reality, it is almost as if a part of you that is connected to the divine source has been severed. It is disconnected. And you must learn to turn that back on. You must learn to find that connection once more. And because you are in this reality, you understand things based off of repetition and experience. If you have never fully experienced unconditional love, then how can you truly understand it? If all you have ever really experienced is conditional love, then that is all you have ever known. You cannot understand the concept of that which you have never experienced in a physical reality. Understand and recognize that when you incarnate here, many of the things that you believe that you have been taught have been passed on to you from generation to generation. It's ancestral. It's not to say that they were wrong or that they did a terrible job, but they did all that they could do with what they knew and what they understood. They cannot teach you what they do not understand. This is why we've come at a time and a place in this reality and in this world where humanity is waking up to the reality that there is something far more greater than themselves. That's a part of them, that they are connected to that. They're waking up to the reality that there is something greater out there. And as each individual lights up their own God center and connects to that source, they begin to experience the many facets of their existence, of who they are. And they get to understand pure, infinite love. You know, this reminds me of when we first channeled through Eileen. And the feeling was so intense and so emotional for her because she'd never experienced that sense, that grandeur of love ever before. It was too much. She'd never known what that felt like, to be truly protected and cared for and loved, not needing to gain the love. Understand that. You can only experience and understand what you've ever experienced. So the concept of unconditional love to humanity is merely non-existent. Because can you honestly say you yourself have experienced a form of unconditional love? Now, I understand, and we know that you all build relationships and bonds with animals. Some of you build bonds and relationships with nature. That is a form of unconditional love. There are no conditions. The love is there for your taking. It's there for you to receive in any moment, at any time. But when I tell you that pure, divine, unconditional love is 1,000 times greater than that, imagine being embraced with that. Always. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. So, why do people run from self love?
That's a very, very important question. Self-love is not something that is taught in this reality. You see, humanity goes through their life wanting to cater to the needs of other people. They want to live up to other people's expectations. Many people in humanity are taught this. They are taught to feed the expectations of others. They're not taught to care for themselves. They're taught to give. You give and you give and you give and you give. They're not taught to love themselves genuinely. They're taught that you're either a good boy or you're a bad boy. You're taught from when you are young that there are certain expectations that must be met in order to receive some sort of affection. Taken into account everything that you've learned as a child. Were you ever taught that you were beautiful, that you were magnificent, that it didn't matter what you looked like, how you dressed, what you owned, what you did, that you were merely perfection as you are? Was that something that was ever taught to you? Unfortunately, in this reality, that is not something that is ever taught. Humanity doesn't know how to teach that. Yes, we have many adults now that are teaching their young children, their young gifted children, and they're learning from these gifted children the importance of self-care and self-love. But we neglect ourselves because it's what we're taught. When you are taught to care for others before caring for yourself, how do you know that there is something different? By the time you recognize that there is an issue, it's far too late. You're already grown. You have years and years of pain and of baggage that must be addressed. Unfortunately, in this reality and in this world, you are not taught of who you are, your existence, your nature. You're not taught any of these things. So you cannot know or understand that which you've never experienced or understood. Please understand, we don't want to repeat ourselves, but it's almost as if I'm saying the same thing. In order to truly love yourself, you must accept yourself exactly as you are. And the reason why this series is so important and why we've pushed her to do this series is because humanity doesn't know where to start. Humanity doesn't understand that everything in your life, everything begins and ends with you. The truth of who you are, the truth of your existence beyond this galaxy and the next, all lies within you. The things that you believe about yourself, those are the things that you must become aware of. You must understand. You must face the harshest parts of yourself and recognize that you were taught those things by others. But as you examine those beliefs, as you begin the journey inward, you begin to ask yourself deeper questions. Does it feel like truth to me? Does this make sense to me? That's where things go wrong in this reality. In this reality and in this world, nobody ever questions anything. You simply take things as they are. You accept it all without questioning. So now you must start over. You must question everything that you know, that you believe, and that you understand. Because trust me when I say, the things that you believe, you might not necessarily believe wholeheartedly. You might not even agree with it. But somehow, based off of conditions, you accepted them as truth and you accepted them as your own. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. So, how does self love help people love others?
Mm. When you can learn to love yourself, loving others will come a lot easier to you. Because you see, when you understand that everything begins and ends with you, you then understand that everyone that you come into contact with is a part of you. You are connected to that. You are connected to that person, to that thing. You're connected to everyone. When you can learn to love yourself, you recognize your worth and your value. You recognize and you understand that not everyone, although you can love them, not everyone is meant for you. When you can love yourself genuinely, you recognize and you understand and you know what that pure love feels like. And it's what you would wish for others. So you can therefore meet them in that same space of love and genuine care and honor them in that space. It's like giving respect. You see them for who they are. You don't have an expectation of them. You don't perceive them in a certain way. You just are. You see the entirety of the being. You know, Eileen used to always have this thing where she always felt that people took advantage of her. She always felt like individuals never really cared for her. And she would always say, "Why can't people love me the way I love them?" But she didn't understand that the people that you come into contact with are mirrors. So what she was experiencing, what she was witnessing, the love she was giving herself was being reflected back at her. But it's all she's ever known. Can you understand? Can you see? Can you see how the importance of loving oneself first is the most important thing you will ever do for yourself? Because you would never want to treat someone the way that others have treated you. Did that answer your question?
Yes, thank you. So Eileen had a question. She wanted to know if she is doing a good job with this Many Faces of Love series and if there's anything that she needs to include or talk about.
We must say that we are, first and foremost, very proud of her. We're very happy with everything that she's included. And there's a lot more that she will be including. A lot more. She has many ideas, many inspirations that keep popping in her mind. We continue to give her little insights here and there. And so far, we're extremely happy with where she's going with this new series. This is something that is going to help many individuals. And we feel that along the road, this will eventually turn into something written, a book perhaps, that she will be able to get out to the masses. We know that she has many, many topics in regards to love that she wants to talk about. And we're allowing her and giving her space to do those things little by little. Because, as we've said before, love is a very broad topic. There are so many avenues to it.
Is there anything else you have for anyone?
No.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming today. We are truly grateful and appreciate everything that you do and all the knowledge you give us. So thank you. And when Eileen is ready, please allow her to come back.
You're very welcome.